Have you ever woke up and thought, just let me get through today? Looked at that person in the mirror and said, I don't even know who that is anymore. You have been so busy surviving that you forgot who you are. You forgot how to dream. You forgot how to do anything more than survive. If that is you, I'm just Janae, and this is Dreams Don't Expire. All that you want is still out there waiting for you. Dare to dream again with me.
The power of asking for what we want. Oh my gosh, the ability to go and say, here's exactly what I want seems really easy, right? But is really quite hard for a lot of us. I just got back from Women in Car Wash conference in Tampa, Florida, which was amazing. And some really strong and powerful women are there. And I'm giving a couple of workshops. And so as I'm putting together my slides for the workshop, the very last slide is how to stay connected. And it has a QR code for my book. It has a QR code for my podcast. It has my LinkedIn. It has my email. It has my consulting company. I'm truly asking for what I want. Great, right? Let me tell you how hard that slide was to make. Once it was made, you think it got easy? It didn't. Now I actually had to put that slide up for everybody. And now I'm doing this asking for what I want in front of a room full of my peers. That's hard. So I'll be honest. When I hit that button to put it onto that slide and it's asking for exactly what I want, I was nervous. I was worried. I was definitely living in a little bit of fear, right? They didn't laugh. They didn't roll their eyes. Quite a few people actually got out their phones, whether it was to take the QR code, whether it was just so that they could have how to get on LinkedIn with me or how to email me. I'm not sure. But either way, they wanted to stay connected. Either way, the thing that I was asking for, they were taking a picture of and ready to do that. That was huge. I had 2 classes, so I had to go up twice. And each time was just as hard. It will get easier for the more I grow, right? But for now, it's still really hard. When you ask for what you want, you are using courage. You are showing strength. You are opening doors. You are communicating effectively. You're telling me exactly what you want, right? You are doing personal development. These are huge things. If I work for a company and they aren't telling me exactly what my goals should be, and yet they're unhappy that I didn't hit what they wanted, it's because they didn't exactly ask what they wanted. They weren't specific enough, and I'm going to fail because they weren't specific enough, and they're going to think it's my fault, right? If we are not where we want to be and we haven't asked for it, it's our fault. If we asked for it and we got a no and we didn't say, okay, what do I need to learn so that the next time I ask for it, it's mine? How do I need to grow? What differences do I need to have in order to have that become a yes next time? A no doesn't mean it can never be. A no means you still got to learn. You still got to grow. Maybe a no means you asked the wrong person. So we need to really start changing our opinion about asking for what we want. We need to get out of our comfort zone. People who become successful have to ask for what they want a lot. Not just once. It's not over and done, right? Not one and done. It is, you ask for what you want, and if you get a yes, you get further ahead. But it's going to take continuous to get up to that dream, to get up to everything you ever wanted. So it's something we got to become good at. A CEO once said, in business and in life, there are many opportunities out there that can be seized upon. However, they remain out of reach unless we ask. Think about that. What's the worst thing that can happen? No? Well, you already got the no when you haven't asked, right? It's not going to be dropped in your lap as much as we would love it to be dropped in our lap. It's not going to be dropped in our lap. So if we don't ask, it's already a no. But if we ask, we now have a potential for a yes or a potential for the growth, right? So we need to learn to ask. Somebody once said, if the downside doesn't result in death and the upside is a potentially life-altering positive change, why not ask? Why not ask? You want that life-altering yes? You got to be willing to get some no's. You got to be willing to put yourself out there. I know we all want it dropped in our lap, right? We all want it just, here you go. It's not going to happen that way. So yesterday, I'm at the airport in Tampa, and this lady comes and sits by me, and we start talking, and she goes, so where are you going? And I'm like, Utah. And she goes, oh, okay. What are you going to Utah for? And I said, oh, that's where I'm from. And she goes, oh, what were you in Tampa for? And I said, well, it was the Women in Car Wash Conference. And she goes, oh, you own a car wash? And I said, no. And she goes, you work in a car wash? And I said, well, I used to. And then I tell her about my journey the last 4 or 5 months. And she's like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. And we're talking. And she's just like, okay, where's your book? And I'm like, it's on Amazon. And I show her. She's like, okay, that's just awesome. And she's from New York. We have this great conversation. I get up to go to the restroom, and while I'm in there, I thought, you know what? I got one of my books in my suitcase. I think I'm just going to open my suitcase, get out that book, and go give it to her. So I go walking out there, and she's not sitting where she was. So I look around, and she's waiting for her flight to board her flight. And so I go walking over to her, and I said, hey, I wanted you to have this. And I give her my book. And she's like, really? And I go, absolutely. I said, the only thing I ask, I said, at the end of the book, it tells you how to get a hold of me. If you enjoy it, I would really love for you to reach out. Even if you don't, I would love the feedback. I said, I would really love to hear your take on it. So after you get done reading it, would you please reach out? And she's like, absolutely. And, you know, I can't know what people think of my book unless I ask, right? I can't know where I need to grow unless I ask. I can't know if it changed somebody's life unless I ask. Now, I had quite a few people read my book, but most of them know me. And while I love their take, there's been a part of me that wonders how they perceived the book, how much of that was influenced because of knowing me. And here's somebody who doesn't know me. And so how much of it is going to be perceived off of just what she read? She did say, I already got so much just from our conversation. I can't wait to read the book. She goes, your energy is so awesome. And totally made my day, right? But she, other than that 5-minute conversation, is going into reading my book pretty blind. And so I'm really looking forward to her responding. And I really hope she does. If she doesn't, that's okay. I still put myself out there and did the uncomfortable, right? And that's really all you can ask, is that you decide what you want and you ask for it. If you do not start asking for what you want, you are going to be stuck exactly where you are. And while it may be great today, it's not where you want to be tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. You don't want to be exactly where you are. So start asking for that future you want. Start asking for that thing you're dreaming of. You know, you don't have to ask for the whole dream. Ask for the next step. That step that's going to get you that much closer. But start asking for more. I honestly believe we deserve that more. We deserve our wildest dreams. We deserve to live the life that was intended for us, that we might miss because we were too scared to ask. I'm just telling you right now, get uncomfortable, ask for the things you want, and know that it's not fatal, right? That know that, let me think about it, that yes, none of that's fatal. It just is uncomfortable for a few minutes. And then it's empowering because you asked anyway. And like I said, if you get a no, learn from it, grow from it, and tweak it so that the next time it's that much closer to your yes. It's that much closer to your dream. I'm telling you right now, we were meant for more. We were meant for those wildest dreams. And we were not meant to play small. So when you don't ask for your dreams, when you don't ask for what you want, when you don't ask for opportunities, you are playing small. And that was never meant for you, for me, for any of us. So start asking for what you want because you deserve it. Get out there today and ask the hard question. Thank you for spending this time with me and for listening with an open heart and for choosing to invest in your growth today. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need the reminder that their dreams still matter. Sometimes one conversation, one message, one moment of encouragement can change everything. And if you want to go deeper, my book, Rise, Believe, Become, was written for the in-between seasons, the moments when you know there's more for you, but you're still finding the courage to take the next step. You can find my book on Amazon, and remember, no matter what phase you're in, your dreams don't expire. Until next time, keep rising.